take Jesus seriously, we realize how much he wants us to be authentic, to say what we mean and to mean what we say, to not just talk the talk, but to walk the walk. This is especially true when it comes to our prayer lives. Jesus wants us to be honest to God. In the Gospels, Jesus has harsh words for people who put together prayers that are very nice, very pretty, but really don't come from a gut feeling that lack substance. Jesus wants us to not be about public persona, not about piety, but rather about prayer that communicates with God in an open-hearted, open being sort of way. So we're supposed to read our Bibles, listen to what God has to say to us in the midst of many words and worship, and then go into a private place in our home or at work, or even just emotionally and spiritually going into a private place where we can commune with God and tell God what we're really feeling, the hurts and the pains and the wounds, but also the joys and the glories and the gratitude that we feel for the many blessings in our lives. God is only real to us in as much as you and I are really, truly with God in our prayers. That's why I think God really likes dogs a lot. I mean, dogs are just totally authentic. You come home and they wag their tail when they see you. If they're really glad to see you, they haven't seen you for a few days, they wag their tail in circles. And if they're really, really, really glad to see you, they get down and they let you rub their bell. And it's just wonderful. They really enjoy it. Of course, when they get upset or angry, they begin to growl and the hair on their backs begins to get raised. And when they're on the hunt, wow, it's really terrific. They begin to bay and yodel and make all sorts of noises. It's really quite terrific. If they're interested in something, they raise their ears, but if they're not very interested, well, they flatten their ears right down to say, hey, leave me alone. This is not on my agenda. Dogs are as authentic as it gets. They're straight shooting. They're no nonsense. They're tell me how you really feel type of creatures. People can be a little bit different. In fact, people can wear masks. You take my friend Scott here. He doesn't look this way just because he's been spending way too much time with basset hounds. No, the fact is he's wearing a mask. And, you know, he doesn't really wear a mask in real life, in my opinion, but he's wearing a mask to show us that people sometimes hide from themselves and sometimes they hide from God. And so we're not supposed to do that because God is love and God wants us to be honest and God wants us to pour out our hearts to God. God really wants us to be with God totally in the present. God wants us warts and wounds and all. Well, that's about it. Lily, would you like another treat? Scott, would you like a treat? Lily, you want your bell rub? Scott, you want your bell rub? Yeah.